Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News for this early part of January 2023. Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Nolan.
And I'm Valerie Young. Did you finally put your Christmas decorations away there, Craig? I mean, you know.
No, actually, we still got a little bit of garland left on the rail. You know, the birds like it, so we leave the garland out there, and we like to see them.
Still a little festive.
It's still got a little bit of Christmas stuff left. So how about you?
Yeah, just a little. You know, I like the lights. That's what I like.
The lights are
That's
good.
The last thing I take down. You know.
Well, again, we welcome you, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Here in January 2023, we've been away for quite a while, and but we're back, so we're going to bring you some news items for this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Here we go. In COVID news, the XBB variant now accounts for about 40% of infections in the country, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This percentage is expected to grow in the next few weeks. The XBB variant is still relatively new, and experts are working to find out how it differentiates from other COVID variants, like Omicron. Body aches and congestion seem to be the more typical symptoms associated with this variant. Omicron caused cold-like symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, and fatigue. The Delta variant was associated with loss of smell and taste. Doctors are seeing less shortness of breath with the XBB variant, and few patients needed supplemental oxygen. Martin Kursak, an infectious disease expert at the University of Colorado Medical Campus, stated that people's underlying health conditions, as well as genetics, will play a significant role in the types of symptoms that they develop from the COVID variant. The updated COVID shot was tweaked a bit in 2022 so that newer variants of the Omicron virus can be targeted. The shot does not work as well in preventing infections of the XBB variant. However, there have not been a rising number of deaths due to the variants, which proves that the shot has at least been able to protect people from severe outcomes. There is still a lot to learn about the COVID-19 virus and all of its variants, but one thing that we have learned for sure is that the booster has offered some sort of protection against all Omicron variants and is still highly recommended. So get that variant shot. Valerie.
Thanks, Craig. Did you know that the food on your plate can either make or break your cardiac capacity? According to Rania Batani, MPH, owner of Essential Nutrition and author of the 1-1-1 Diet, states that heart-healthy foods contain nutrients that have been shown to benefit the cardiovascular system or reduce the risk of developing heart disease by lowering bad LDL cholesterol and blood triglycerides, reducing blood pressure, controlling weight, and or improving insulin sensitivity. A diet consisting of whole grains, produce, nuts, and beans, plus a little dairy here and there, can reduce your risk for heart disease by a third, according to a study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, published in 2016. Here are some of those not-so-good foods for your heart. Number 1, processed deli meats. These cured lunch meats contain a high amount of sodium nitrate. Nitrates can potentially increase internal inflammation. According to Suzanne Fisher, founder of the Fisher Nutrition Systems in Cooper City, Florida, this can lead to the stiffening or even narrowing of the arteries. Next on the list, hot dogs. I know those are some people's favorite foods. Saturated fats are higher in hot dogs and sausages. The low-fat options can even be high in sodium as well. Rotisserie chicken, again, high in sodium and saturated fats. Experts recommend roasting your own at home to control any extra amounts of added sodium. Craig?
All right, Valerie, also in our news items, well, Virginia ABC stores have begun a campaign that helps Virginians make better decisions regarding alcohol consumption. Sip Responsibly, they call it, is the name of the campaign, and is part of what's known as the Dry January Challenge. Virginia ABC is encouraging its customers to explore alternatives to heavy alcohol use. The campaign advises people to drink less amounts of alcohol, understand alcohol by volume, and even try alcohol-free cocktails. For more information on the Sip Responsibly campaign, visit abc.virginia.gov/sip responsibly. Valerie.
Thanks, Craig. Virginia lawmakers are making strong efforts to control the climbing costs of prescription drugs. According to Wavy.com, a bill would be passed to put a cap on in-demand medications. This bill would greatly protect those who rely on health insurance plans, such as Medicaid here in Virginia. Senator Chap Peterson of Fairfax expects to receive much pushback from other entities. According to Delegate Carrie Delaney of Fairfax, 1 out of 4 individuals simply stop taking their prescribed medications because they can't afford them. And that's really unfortunate. Craig.
Keep taking your meds. All right, thanks, Valerie. And moving on now to what we affectionately call our CBB, or Community Bulletin Board segment. Here are a few items of interest you may want to take note of. Our first CBB event comes from the Arlington Public Library System. It's called Kids Club Valentine. Kids from kindergarten age through grade 5 can come in and explore arts, books, craft, and building through a variety of fun activities. For the current policies on mask wearing, see the library operations update. Space is limited, so attendance is on a first-come, first-served basis until the capacity is reached. For more information, you can give them a call at 703-228-6330. That's coming up on Wednesday, February 8th, from 4 to 5 in the afternoon in the loft at the Cherrydale Branch Library. They're located at 2190 Military Road. Valerie.
Well, our next event is also from the Arlington Library, but this one's for adults. It's from the Escapism Book Club, which meets in person on the second Wednesday of each month. This month's selection is The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan. Here's a brief story outline. Samaya Brooks never thought she would be, quote, that girl, but a live tweet of a horrific date just revealed the painful truth. She's been catfished by a 3-timing jerk of a boyfriend. Suddenly, Samaya, along with her 2 other girlfriends, London and Taylor, have gone viral online. Now the 3 new besties are making a pact to spend the next 6 months investing in themselves. No men, no dating, no worrying about their relationship status. For once, Samaya is putting herself first, and that includes finally developing the app she's always dreamed of creating, which is exactly the moment she meets this deliciously sexy, honey-eyed Daniel Collins at work. What are the chances? When it comes to love, there's no such thing as a coincidence. But is Daniel really boyfriend material, or is he maybe just a little too good to be true? Sounds a little juicy. Registration is required. You can register online through the library website. For more information, call 703-228-6545. Wednesday, February 8th, from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Shirlington Branch Library, and that's at 4200 Campbell Avenue. Craig?
I'm still wondering what it's like to be catfished. Have you ever had that experience? We'll find out. Well, to find out, let's check out the Samaya Brooks here at the library. All right, our next CBB event is for kids ages 6 through 10. It's called Vibrant Valentines. It's a chance for kids to show their love for wildlife by making valentines for animals at the Nature Center. Cost is $5. You can register online at the Parks and Rec website. And that's coming up on Saturday, February 11th, from 10 in the morning till 11 in the morning, 10 to 11 a.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center. They're located at 3608 North Military Road. And there's another session also from 3:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon at Long Branch Nature Center. They're located at 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Some mating game information, Valerie?
Yeah, that's what our next event. The next CBB event is also for adults. It's called the Mating Game. It's a chance to join a naturalist for a fun trivia game exploration of the weird, wild, and wonderful mating scene of wildlife. They'll find out which male fish wants to be seen as female, which amphibians can become too attached, and the hidden cost of being too attractive. Light refreshments will be available at a cost of $5. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. This event is Saturday, February 11th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. at the Gulf Branch Nature Center at 3608 North Military Road. Craig?
All right, and if you like trees, this next one for you, our last in our CBB events here is again for adults. It's called the Winter Tree ID Hike. Well, the leaves are gone, but you can still identify a tree by taking a look at its bark and the shape of the tree in general. They're asking you to wear appropriate clothing since you'll be outside for this event. Teens aged 14 and older are also welcome to attend, but must be accompanied by a registered adult. Cost for this event is $5. You can register online at the Parks and Rec website. And it's coming up on Sunday, February 12th, from 10 to 11:15 in the morning at Long Branch Nature Center. They're located at 625 South Carlin Springs Road. All right, that's a look at our CBB, Community Bulletin Board items. How about we go to what we used to call News for Seniors, now 55-plus news. What do you think about that one, Valerie?
Well,
got some info there for
got
us?
some great events coming up. Our first event is another 55-plus walk. Stay active with friendly walking companions. You'll explore nearby trails and neighborhoods in a safe, socially distant manner. Destinations may be changed or excursions may be canceled for inclement weather. The location will be in the Cherrydale area. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. That's on Wednesday, February 8th from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Ages 55 and up, and 55-plus membership is required. Craig?
Also in our News for Seniors segment, Wilma Jones has accomplished a great deal in her life as a businesswoman, a blogger, producer, activist, and author of the book, My Halls Hill Family, More Than a Neighborhood. You can join her as she shares amazing stories about Halls Hill and learn how this once segregated community flourished. You can register online at the Parks and Rec website, and this one is coming up on Thursday, February 9, from 11 a.m. to 12 noon at Langston Brown Community Center, located at 2121 North Culpeper Street. This is for ages 55 and older, and they're also reminding you that a 55-plus membership is required. Valerie.
Well, our next event is called The Magic of Yellowstone. Discover the history, geology, and wildlife of Yellowstone National Park, the world's first national park and home to half of the world's geothermal features. We'll visit Yellowstone Park virtually with a park ranger in real time from the park in Wyoming. The presenter will be appearing on screen via Zoom at the center, or you can watch the live broadcast at home. Sign up based on your preference. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. This event is Thursday, February 9th from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Walter Reed Community Center. That's located at 2909 16th Street South. Again, ages 55 plus, and a 55-plus membership is required. Craig?
And I can attest to that. I've been to Yellowstone. It's an amazing place, and probably no other place like it on Earth. It really is an incredible place. The oldest and the best national park, perhaps, in the world. It's a great place. All right, finally, in our 55-plus events, this next one coming up is called Game Night. Enjoy one of the available games that they have there at the center, including card games, Rubik's Cube, my goodness, Scrabble, and many more. And if you don't see something you like there, you can bring your own game to play. You can register online at the Parks and Rec website, and that is coming up Thursday on February 9, 6 to 7 in the evening at Lubber Run Community Center. They're located at 300 North Park Drive. This is for ages 55 and older, and a 55-plus membership is required. Valerie.
And our final event is called Women and Girls in Science Day. This program will feature a panel of women who worked or continue to work in the field of science. They will talk about why and how they pursued a career in science, their experiences of being women in their field, and how we can encourage the next generation of female scientists. A 55-plus pass is not required, so all are welcome. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation's website. And the event is Friday, February 10th from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Walter Reed Community Center at 2909 16th Street South.
That sounds like a great event.
Yes, it does.
Women and girls in science, absolutely. All right, well, we're just about at the end of our little show here. We've gotten through our news items, our news for seniors, formerly news for seniors, and 55-plus news, our CBB Community Bulletin Board items, and that's about a wrap. So we thank you for joining us and watching this first edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News here for January 2023. And on behalf of myself and Valerie,
absolutely,
we thank you for watching. And
we'll see you next time.
Take it easy on those Christmas decorations. Maybe next month.
Maybe
right?
by February. Maybe by February.
By Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for watching, folks. Have
Take
a good
care.
week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hello, and welcome to Everyday Arlington. Earlier, I explored Barton Park, which was nice and quiet. However, there's another park practically next door. It's called Rocky Run Park, and it has many more of the features you'd expect from an Arlington County park. It has a hill for going down, and leaves for peeping through. It has a great big field, suitable for lots of things like soccer practice or running around or just generally being a kid. It also has a basketball court suitable for basketball. Especially nice is the special play area for really little kids. It's not that uncommon in Arlington, but it's still nice. And what would a park be without a great big sandbox with a kind of circular metallic table with holes in it? There also appears to be a water pump for mud pies. Maybe it's there so the kids can rinse off their hands, but I still vote for mud pies. I especially appreciated the availability of public restrooms. And when I say availability, I mean that the doors weren't locked. Rocky Run Park also has some of those new things that I don't really understand. Some people in my age group will appreciate the plentiful benches. Others will appreciate the other benches in the shade of the pavilion. Everyone but W.C. Fields will appreciate the presence of a working water fountain. So, where does all this happen? 1109 North Barton Street, of course. There's one final attraction, a very tall, ropey thing for kids to climb on and hopefully not learn any painful lessons about gravity. If you get to the top, you can slide down, or so I imagine. I didn't actually try it. And that about wraps it up from Rocky Run Park, another free feature in Everyday Arlington. Of all of Arlington's parks, perhaps the most unusual is the Dark Star Park in Roslyn. The design was conceived by the artist Nancy Holt, and it was completed in 1984. It was Arlington's first major commissioned art project. The park consists of earth, sod, winter creeper, crown vetch, willow oak, stone dust, stone masonry, asphalt, steel, water, and gunite. Most people know about earth, sod, masonry, asphalt, steel, and water, and it's enough to say that winter creeper, crown vetch, and willow oak are all plants. But what in the world is gunite? Contrary to popular belief, gunite is not just what small children say at bedtime once appeals for a glass of water are exhausted. Gunite is a kind of sprayed concrete, and it was used to create the distinctive spheres that represent the dark stars in the park. Each sphere has a carefully positioned hole through its center, and these holes are aligned so that on August 1st of each year, shadows cast by the spheres and steel poles align with permanent forms on the ground. August 1st was the day on which the land was purchased that later became Roslyn. If you do an internet search under Dark Star Park, you will learn that the park is located along North Fairfax Drive between North Fort Myer Drive and North Lynn Street. You will learn about Nancy Holt and the various financial supporters of the project. However, you won't find any mention of a man named Elmer Baker. Although the design of the park itself is properly credited to Nancy Holt, it was Elmer Baker who actually constructed the spheres out of gunite. Mr. Baker's specialty was swimming pool construction, but this also included some aesthetic additions to the pools he worked on, and his favorite material was gunite. It was quite a task to make sure that the gunite was smoothly applied to form the giant balls while ensuring that the holes were exactly aligned. I met Elmer Baker a couple of times, having worked alongside his wife May for over 10 years, and I was tangentially aware of some of the projects he worked on. Dark Star Park has proven to be the most enduring of these. Sadly, Mr. Baker died in 1997 before the park was renovated in 2002. However, there's an anecdote I recall from a company party which Mr. Baker attended one year. One of our branch managers was an outspoken young lady. She approached Mr. Baker and asked to shake his hand. When he complied, she declared that she just had to shake the hand of anyone who was willing to put his balls on display in a public park. Maybe it's not the greatest epitaph, but at least it's something.